Have you ever felt like you're treading water in life, exhausting yourself without moving forward? Perhaps it's not your circumstances, but the habits lurking beneath the surface that are silently holding you back. These habits, procrastination, negative self-talk, and seeking external validation, among others, can drain your energy, weaken your resilience, and prevent you from living a life of purpose. But what if you could turn these weaknesses into strengths? What if ancient wisdom could guide you toward clarity and power? Stoicism, a philosophy born over 2 millennia ago, offers timeless tools to help us navigate modern challenges. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Stoicism doesn't just tell us to be strong, it shows us how to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace by focusing on what we can control and letting go of the rest. In this transformative journey, we'll explore 9 habits that quietly erode your strength and how Stoic principles can empower you to overcome them. By the end, you'll not only identify these habits, but also learn practical steps to replace them with virtues that lead to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Let's begin. 1. Procrastination, the thief of time. Procrastination is a silent thief that robs us of our most valuable resource, time. It's a habit that disguises itself as harmless, often justified by thoughts like, "I'll get to it later," or "I just need to feel more prepared." But as the hours, days, or even years slip away, procrastination leaves us with regret and unfulfilled potential. Stoicism provides a powerful antidote to this habit, teaching us to focus on the present moment and act decisively. As Epictetus said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This principle extends beyond relationships. It applies to how we spend our time and align our actions with our values. At its core, procrastination stems from fear of failure, fear of discomfort, or fear of imperfection. Instead of confronting these fears, we avoid them by postponing tasks, seeking temporary relief in distractions. Imagine a student, Maria, who dreams of becoming an artist. Every day she tells herself she'll start sketching tomorrow. Weeks turn into months, and her canvas remains blank. The weight of her unfulfilled ambition grows heavier, fueled by the knowledge that her inaction is a choice she makes daily. Maria's story is a universal one. Procrastination isn't just a delay, it's a denial of our ability to create and achieve. Stoicism urges us to focus on what is within our control, and the only moment we truly control is the present. By acting now, we reclaim our power over time. The Stoic concept of carpe diem, seizing the day, reminds us that life is finite, and each moment is an opportunity to make meaningful progress. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Procrastination steals from this urgency, lulling us into the false belief that there will always be more time. How can we overcome procrastination? Start by breaking the cycle of avoidance with small, manageable steps. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, act imperfectly but intentionally. For instance, Maria could commit to sketching for just 5 minutes a day. By lowering the threshold for action, she removes the intimidation of starting and builds momentum. Secondly, focus on the process rather than the outcome. Procrastination often arises from an obsession with results, whether the task will succeed or fail. Stoicism teaches us to detach from outcomes and find fulfillment in the effort itself. Lastly, eliminate distractions and create an environment conducive to focus. Set clear boundaries, such as turning off notifications or dedicating a specific workspace to reduce temptations. Reflect on your own life. Is there a task or goal you've been putting off? Perhaps it's that book you've always wanted to write, the workout plan you've yet to start, or the difficult conversation you've been avoiding. What small step can you take today to move closer to it? As Stoicism reminds us, time is finite, and every delay is a lost opportunity. By embracing the present moment, committing to progress, and letting go of the fear of imperfection, we can free ourselves from the grip of procrastination. The choice to act or to wait is yours to make. Which will you choose? 2. Negative self-talk, the enemy within. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our reality. Negative self-talk, the relentless inner voice that whispers doubts and criticisms, has the power to erode self-esteem, sabotage confidence, and hinder growth. It is a silent enemy, often disguised as rationality or self-protection, but its effects are profoundly weakening. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This Stoic wisdom underscores the transformative power of our inner dialogue. If we allow negativity to dominate our thoughts, we diminish our ability to face challenges with strength and grace. Negative self-talk typically emerges in moments of failure or uncertainty. Imagine Alex, a young professional who recently delivered a presentation that didn't go as planned. His inner critic immediately took over. "I'm terrible at public speaking. I'll never be good enough." Instead of reflecting constructively, Alex's thoughts spiral into self-doubt. This cycle isn't unique to Alex. It's a common experience for many of us. The problem with negative self-talk is that it magnifies our flaws, minimizes our achievements, and traps us in a mindset of defeat. Stoicism offers a way out by teaching us to question the validity of our thoughts and replace negativity with rationality and self-compassion. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that our perception of the world is shaped by our thoughts, not external events. Negative self-talk, therefore, is not an accurate reflection of reality, but a distorted lens we can choose to correct. The first step to overcoming it is awareness. Notice when your inner voice turns critical. Instead of accepting those thoughts as truth, pause and ask yourself, is this thought based on evidence, or is it a product of fear and insecurity? Once you've identified the pattern, the next step is rational challenge. For instance, Alex could confront his negative self-talk by asking, "What did I actually learn from this presentation? What can I improve for next time?" Shifting the focus from criticism to growth reframes the experience as an opportunity rather than a failure. This aligns with Epictetus's teaching. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Another powerful Stoic tool is self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Imagine Alex consoling a colleague who struggled with a presentation. He might say, "Everyone has off days. What matters is how you prepare for the next opportunity." Extending this same understanding to ourselves can break the cycle of self-criticism and foster resilience. In practical terms, overcoming negative self-talk involves cultivating habits that nurture a positive inner dialogue. Start a journal to track your thoughts and challenge negative patterns. Practice affirmations rooted in Stoic principles, such as, "I have control over my actions and thoughts, and I will focus on what I can improve." Surround yourself with supportive influences, people, books, or content that uplift and inspire. Take a moment to reflect. What is your inner dialogue like? Do you speak to yourself with encouragement, or do you let negativity take hold? As you navigate life's challenges, remember that your inner voice is one of the most powerful tools you have. By aligning your thoughts with rationality, self-compassion, and a commitment to growth, you can transform self-doubt into self-belief. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's time to reclaim that power and silence the enemy within. 3. Seeking external validation, the approval trap. In a world dominated by social media, seeking external validation has become almost second nature. We post our achievements, share our lives, and eagerly wait for likes, comments, or recognition to feel worthy. While external validation can provide temporary satisfaction, it often traps us in a cycle of dependence, weakening our sense of self. Epictetus wisely said, "Stop seeking for the things that happen and start seeking for the things that never happen." This profound insight urges us to shift our focus inward, valuing our own principles and actions rather than the opinions of others. Take Daniel, for example. A talented designer, he spends hours crafting stunning artwork, but hesitates to publish it unless he feels confident it will be praised. His self-worth is tied to the applause of others. When his posts don't receive the expected attention, he spirals into self-doubt, questioning his talent and direction. This constant need for approval undermines his confidence and creativity, leaving him more vulnerable to disappointment. Daniel's story resonates with many of us, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or social interactions. We often measure our value by external feedback. Stoicism teaches us that this reliance on others' opinions is futile because their judgments lie beyond our control. The key to breaking free from the approval trap is to realign our focus. As Epictetus emphasizes, we must cultivate internal validation by concentrating on our actions, character, and principles. Start by reflecting on your values. What truly matters to you? What do you stand for? By defining your own moral compass, you can begin to evaluate yourself against meaningful standards rather than fleeting opinions. Another way to escape the approval trap is to shift your mindset from "how will others perceive me" to "am I proud of my actions?" For instance, Daniel could redirect his focus by asking, "Did I put my heart and skill into this artwork? Am I growing as an artist?" When we prioritize growth and effort over external praise, we reclaim control over our sense of self. To build resilience against the need for validation, it's essential to practice self-awareness. Notice when you're seeking approval and pause to evaluate your motivations. Are you acting out of a desire to align with your values, or are you chasing someone else's recognition? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This realization empowers us to detach from others' judgments and focus on what we can control, our actions and thoughts. Practical steps can also help reinforce this shift. First, set personal goals that align with your values rather than societal expectations. Second, celebrate your achievements privately or with trusted individuals who support your growth. Third, practice gratitude for your efforts, recognizing that the journey matters more than external accolades. Think about a time when you sought approval from others. How did it make you feel when you received it, or didn't? Did it bring lasting satisfaction, or did it leave you wanting more? Share your reflections in the comments. Your insight could inspire someone else to embrace their own worth. By stepping away from the approval trap, you reclaim your power and build a life rooted in authenticity and self-respect. As you align your actions with your principles, you'll discover that the most meaningful validation comes from within. 4. Complaining, the habit of helplessness. Complaining is a natural reaction to life's difficulties, but when it becomes a habit, it weakens us in profound ways. Constant complaints shift our focus from solutions to problems, fostering a victim mentality and reinforcing feelings of helplessness. Marcus Aurelius offers a transformative perspective. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. His words remind us that our perception, not the situation itself, determines our experience. By shifting how we interpret challenges, we can break free from the cycle of complaining and embrace resilience. Consider Lisa, a project manager who frequently vents about her team's inefficiency. Every meeting becomes an opportunity for her to point out problems, missed deadlines, lack of communication, and inadequate effort. While her frustrations are valid, her constant focus on complaints creates a toxic atmosphere, demoralizing her team and fueling her own dissatisfaction. Instead of inspiring solutions, Lisa's habit reinforces a sense of stagnation. Over time, she begins to feel trapped, unable to see a path forward. Her story illustrates how complaining can spiral into a self-perpetuating loop that saps energy and weakens resolve. Complaining often stems from a desire to gain control over uncontrollable circumstances or to validate our feelings. Stoicism offers a counterbalance by teaching us to focus on what lies within our control, our reactions, actions, and mindset. When faced with challenges, instead of complaining, we can ask ourselves, what can I change about this situation? How can I improve my response? This shift from external blame to internal responsibility is the essence of Stoic resilience. Breaking the habit of complaining requires practical steps and a commitment to perspective shifting. The first step is self-awareness. Notice when you're tempted to complain and pause to reflect. Ask yourself, is this complaint productive? What am I hoping to achieve by voicing it? Often complaints are expressions of frustration rather than constructive efforts to address the root cause. Next, practice gratitude. When Lisa began listing what her team was doing right, creative problem-solving, dedication to tough projects, and willingness to learn, she started to see possibilities instead of limitations. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance, fostering a sense of agency and positivity. A simple exercise is to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day, especially in challenging situations. This practice trains your mind to recognize the good, even amid adversity. Additionally, reframe challenges as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This mindset allows us to see obstacles not as barriers, but as catalysts for growth. For example, Lisa could approach her team's inefficiencies as an opportunity to improve communication processes or to mentor team members, turning frustration into progress. Reflect on your own habits. When was the last time you caught yourself complaining about a situation? Did it lead to change, or did it leave you feeling stuck? Imagine replacing that complaint with action. How might the outcome have been different? By redirecting your energy from blame to responsibility, you empower yourself to create solutions rather than dwell on problems. Breaking free from the habit of complaining isn't about suppressing valid emotions, but about channeling them into constructive action. As you cultivate gratitude, reframe challenges, and focus on what you can control, you'll discover that life's difficulties are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to strength and growth. The power to revoke distress is always within you. Will you seize it? 5. Excessive materialism, the pursuit of hollow pleasures. In a world where success is often measured by possessions, excessive materialism has become an unspoken norm. We chase after the latest gadgets, designer clothes, or luxurious experiences, believing they will bring us happiness. Yet, the more we acquire, the more we realize how fleeting that happiness is. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, captures this truth. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. Excessive materialism weakens us by tying our sense of self-worth to external possessions, leaving us perpetually dissatisfied and distracted from what truly matters. Consider James, a young professional who worked tirelessly to buy his dream car. When he finally achieved it, the euphoria was overwhelming, but short-lived. Within weeks, his excitement faded, and his focus shifted to the next milestone, upgrading to a bigger home. Despite his achievements, James felt unfulfilled, trapped in a cycle of craving and consumption. His story mirrors the experiences of many who mistakenly equate material wealth with emotional well-being. The Stoic approach offers a liberating perspective by teaching us to distinguish between needs and desires. Excessive materialism stems from the insatiable desire for more, a desire fueled by comparisons, advertisements, and societal expectations. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." By realigning our priorities and focusing on inner virtues, we can break free from this hollow pursuit. One way to overcome excessive materialism is to practice mindful gratitude. Instead of yearning for what we lack, we can focus on appreciating what we already have. For example, James could reflect on the joy his car once brought him and the freedom it continues to provide. This mindset shift fosters contentment and reduces the impulse to constantly seek more. Another step is to cultivate simplicity. Seneca emphasized the importance of living modestly, not out of deprivation, but to appreciate life's true pleasures. Start by decluttering your space, removing possessions that no longer serve a purpose or bring joy. This exercise not only creates physical space, but also clears mental clutter, allowing you to focus on what genuinely matters. Re-evaluating your definition of success is also crucial. Ask yourself, am I pursuing this for my growth and happiness, or to impress others? Redirecting your energy toward developing virtues like kindness, courage, and wisdom will bring fulfillment that no material possession can offer. For example, James could shift his focus from acquiring a bigger home to mentoring younger colleagues, leaving a lasting impact that transcends physical goods. Reflect on your relationship with material possessions. Is there something you're chasing right now that you believe will make you happier? What would happen if you paused and redirected that energy toward nurturing relationships, pursuing a passion, or giving back to your community? These pursuits often bring deeper and more enduring joy than any object ever could. Excessive materialism isn't inherently about the things we own, it's about the mindset we adopt. By shifting our focus from accumulation to appreciation, from desires to virtues, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of dissatisfaction. As you simplify your life and prioritize what truly matters, you'll discover that happiness isn't found in the next purchase, but in the present moment. What will you choose to value today? 6. Avoiding challenges, the comfort zone trap. Avoiding challenges may feel safe in the moment, but it ultimately stifles growth and weakens our resilience. Staying within the comfort zone is a subtle trap. It keeps us from taking risks, confronting fears, and realizing our true potential. Epictetus captures this lesson with striking clarity. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Growth often requires discomfort, and stepping out of the comfort zone is essential for building the courage and adaptability needed to thrive. Take Sarah, a talented graphic designer who dreams of becoming a creative director. Despite her skills and ambition, she consistently avoids applying for leadership roles. "I'm not ready," she tells herself, fearing rejection or failure. Instead, she settles for tasks that feel familiar and manageable. Over time, Sarah begins to feel stagnant, watching her peers advance while she remains in the same position. Her reluctance to embrace challenges becomes a barrier to her growth, a wall built from fear and self-doubt. Stoicism teaches us to reframe challenges as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Challenges, when faced with courage, are not obstacles, but stepping stones to strength and self-discovery. To break free from the comfort zone, we must first recognize that discomfort is a natural and necessary part of progress. One way to embrace challenges is to redefine failure. Rather than viewing failure as a setback, consider it a valuable teacher. Sarah, for instance, could see rejection not as a reflection of her worth, but as feedback to help her grow. This shift in perspective empowers us to act despite uncertainty, focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Another powerful tool is incremental exposure to discomfort. Start small by identifying areas where you've been avoiding challenges. For Sarah, this might mean volunteering to lead a minor project or speaking up during team meetings. Each small step outside her comfort zone builds confidence, preparing her for larger challenges. Epictetus emphasized that personal growth requires deliberate effort. No great thing is created suddenly. Practicing self-reflection is also key. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding and why? What is the worst that could happen if I took this challenge head-on? Often, the fears holding us back are exaggerated, and confronting them reveals they are far less daunting than we imagined. Journaling or discussing these fears with a trusted friend can provide clarity and encouragement. Think about your own comfort zone. Is there an opportunity you've been avoiding? A conversation, a goal, or a responsibility? What would happen if you took one small step toward it today? Imagine the confidence and strength you could gain by confronting your fears instead of running from them. Avoiding challenges may protect us from short-term discomfort, but it robs us of long-term growth. By stepping into discomfort, redefining failure, and embracing the unknown, we can unlock our full potential. Stoicism reminds us that life's greatest rewards lie just beyond our comfort zone. Will you take the first step today? 7. Dwelling on the past. The chain of regret. Dwelling on the past is a habit that binds us to regret, guilt, and stagnation. It keeps us anchored in what has already happened, stealing the energy we need to move forward. While reflection can be valuable, excessive rumination weakens us, hindering our ability to focus on the present and shape the future. Marcus Aurelius offers a profound reminder: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This principle teaches us that while we cannot change the past, we can control how we perceive and respond to it. Consider Adam, a talented musician who once botched an important audition due to nerves. Despite continuing to perform, he constantly replays the moment in his mind, questioning every decision he made. The weight of that single mistake overshadows his achievements and paralyzes his potential. What if I had prepared better? What if I hadn't frozen on stage? He wonders. Adam's fixation on the past not only robs him of joy in his current performances, but also hinders his ability to grow as an artist. Stoicism provides a liberating perspective by teaching us to let go of what we cannot control and focus instead on what we can. The past, by definition, is beyond our control. No amount of regret or analysis can rewrite history. What we can control is how we choose to interpret and learn from it. Epictetus advises, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." This mindset allows us to accept the past without resentment and channel our energy toward constructive action. Breaking the habit of dwelling on the past begins with self-compassion. Often our regrets stem from unrealistic expectations we place on ourselves. For example, Adam could acknowledge that making mistakes is part of being human and an essential aspect of growth. By treating himself with the same kindness he would offer a fellow musician, he can begin to release the burden of guilt and move forward with clarity. Another key step is extracting lessons from past experiences. Instead of obsessing over what went wrong, focus on what can be learned. Adam might reflect on how to better manage stage anxiety or improve his preparation for future auditions. This approach transforms regret into a valuable source of insight, aligning with the Stoic belief that every setback is an opportunity for growth. Living in the present is equally vital. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to fully engage with the moment at hand. Confine yourself to the present. Practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help redirect attention from past mistakes to present possibilities. For Adam, immersing himself in his music, playing, composing, or teaching can reignite his passion and remind him of his talent. Reflect on your own life. Is there a moment from your past that you're holding on to? How has dwelling on it shaped your present? Imagine how freeing it would be to release that weight and focus on what you can create today. By embracing self-compassion, learning from mistakes, and grounding yourself in the present, you can break the chain of regret and reclaim your power. The past may shape us, but it does not have to define us. As you let go of what cannot be changed and invest in what lies ahead, you'll discover a renewed sense of purpose and strength. The choice is yours. Will you dwell on what was or embrace what can be? 8. Selective availability, conditional relationships. Have you ever noticed someone in your life who seems to be available only when it benefits them? Selective availability, the habit of being present only under favorable conditions, reveals a lack of genuine connection and prioritization. It leaves relationships feeling transactional and one-sided, eroding trust and mutual respect. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful insight into such dynamics. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By confronting this pattern, we can strengthen our relationships and foster deeper, more authentic connections. Consider Rachel, who often found herself disappointed by her best friend, Laura. Whenever Rachel needed advice, emotional support, or even a casual catch-up, Laura was either too busy or unresponsive. Yet, whenever Laura needed a favor or a sympathetic ear, she expected Rachel to drop everything. Over time, Rachel began to feel used, questioning the sincerity of their friendship. The imbalance drained Rachel emotionally and left her wondering, am I truly valued or am I just convenient? Stoicism teaches us to evaluate relationships through the lens of control and priorities. Epictetus reminds us, we should not confide in every friend, but only in those who have demonstrated their friendship over time. Selective availability often indicates a misalignment of priorities. By identifying this pattern, we can set healthier expectations and refocus our energy on relationships that are mutual and supportive. Breaking free from the emotional toll of selective availability requires both awareness and action. The first step is to assess your relationships honestly. Ask yourself, are my efforts reciprocated? Is this person present in both my triumphs and struggles? If the answer is no, it may be time to reevaluate the dynamic. For Rachel, Acknowledging the imbalance helped her recognize that Laura's actions were more about convenience than genuine care. Next, practice setting boundaries. Communicate your needs and expectations clearly. Rachel might say to Laura, "I value our friendship, but I've noticed that I'm often available for you when you need support, and I don't feel the same in return. Can we work on being more present for each other?" While this conversation can feel uncomfortable, it's a necessary step toward building a healthier relationship. Recalibrating your energy is also essential. Marcus Aurelius advises us to focus on what lies within our control. Instead of fixating on Laura's selective availability, Rachel could redirect her energy toward nurturing relationships with friends who consistently show support. This not only reduces emotional strain, but also strengthens connections that truly matter. To solidify these changes, consider practicing gratitude and alignment. Reflect on the relationships in your life that bring you joy, trust, and mutual respect. Prioritize these connections and express your appreciation to the people who genuinely value your presence. For example, Rachel could deepen her bond with another friend who consistently checks in and celebrates her successes. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt like someone was only available when it benefited them? How did it affect your sense of trust and value? And what steps can you take to ensure your relationships are rooted in reciprocity and care? These reflections can guide you towards stronger, more fulfilling connections. Selective availability may highlight the superficial nature of certain relationships, but it also offers an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. By setting boundaries, fostering mutual respect, and aligning your energy with genuine connections, you can transform your relationships into sources of strength and fulfillment. The choice is yours. Will you settle for conditional connections or strive for authentic ones? 9. Absence in critical moments, the test of true relationships. There are moments in life when we face challenges so daunting that we cannot endure them alone. In these times, the people we trust and rely on the most reveal their true character, not through words, but through their actions. The absence of those we expect to stand by us in critical moments can be devastating. It weakens our trust in others and leaves us feeling abandoned. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." Similarly, adversity tests relationships, exposing their depth or lack thereof. Imagine Michael, a young entrepreneur who invested his life savings into launching his dream startup. Early success turned into a financial crisis when a key investor backed out unexpectedly. Michael reached out to his closest friend and business partner, Adam, for support. Yet, Adam was nowhere to be found, ignoring calls, evading meetings, and offering empty excuses. Michael realized that when the stakes were highest, Adam's absence was louder than any words could have been. The trust and camaraderie they once shared were shattered, leaving Michael to question the foundation of their partnership. Stoicism offers a way to navigate the pain of such absences with clarity and resilience. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to temper our expectations of others. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." While this may seem pessimistic, it's a practical reminder that people are fallible. By accepting this reality, we reduce the sting of disappointment and focus on what is within our control. Our response. How can we manage the emotional toll of absence in critical moments? The first step is recognizing patterns. If someone consistently fails to show up when it matters, it's essential to re-evaluate the role they play in your life. For Michael, acknowledging Adam's repeated absence allowed him to stop relying on an unreliable source of support. The next step is to rebuild your support network. Adversity often highlights the people who genuinely care, those who remain steadfast when times are tough. Michael found solace in reconnecting with other friends and colleagues who offered advice, encouragement, and practical help. Seneca's wisdom resonates here. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. Practicing self-reliance is equally important. While it's natural to seek support, Stoicism emphasizes the value of inner strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By cultivating resilience and focusing on your own abilities, you can navigate challenges even in the absence of external support. For Michael, this meant developing a clearer business strategy and finding new ways to stabilize his company without Adam's involvement. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you faced a critical moment when someone you depended on let you down? How did it change your perspective on trust and relationships? And more importantly, what did you learn about your own capacity to persevere? While the absence of others in critical times can feel like a betrayal, it also teaches us invaluable lessons about self-reliance, resilience, and the importance of surrounding ourselves with dependable people. As you face life's challenges, remember that true strength lies in your ability to adapt and grow, even when those you count on fail to appear. Who will you choose to trust moving forward, and how will you strengthen your foundation within? The answers to these questions shape not only your relationships, but also your path to a more resilient and fulfilling life. As we've explored these 9 habits that quietly weaken us, the path to transformation becomes clear. Recognize, reflect, and act. Stoicism reminds us that we hold the power to reshape our lives by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom rings true. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now take a moment to reflect. Which habit has held you back the most? What small step can you take today to overcome it? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story and how Stoicism has inspired you to grow. Your insights could encourage someone else to take their first step toward change. If you found value in this article, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might benefit from these timeless lessons. And if you want more Stoic wisdom delivered daily, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest posts. Together, let's build a community of resilience, purpose, and growth. The power to transform your life is in your hands. Will you seize the day and start your journey to strength, wisdom, and inner peace? The choice is yours. Act now.